What is good, YouTube? Channel FX back. Hey man, listen, we are 80 subscribers short for us to reach 1k subscribers. Now listen, as soon as we hit 1k subscribers, I have a surprise for y'all, man. So if you know you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button to be a part of this channel, right? So in this video, I'm about to show you how I was able to catch about 100 pips trading Euro USD during CPI. So if you really want to learn how I did it, make sure you stick around to the end of this video. Make sure you watch this video to the end. If you're also interested in catching moves like this, just DM me on Instagram to get yourself enrolled in my one-on-one mentorship. And like I said earlier on, if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button, make sure to drop a comment down below. Alright, so with that being said, let's just get to business. Alright, so now starting from the 4H time frame, what was the first thing I did? So the first thing I did was to identify my trend. And looking at our charts, what trend are we in? We're on an uptrend. So after I've identified my trend, what was the second thing I did? The second thing I did was to identify my market structures. The second thing I did was to identify my market structures. So now let's get into the chart. So we all identify our market structures together. Now starting from here, what the price do here? Price created what? A lower high, came back down to create what? A lower low, came back up to create what? A higher high. Why is this a higher high? Because price broke below its previous what? Lower high. So now this becomes our new what? Higher high. After this higher high was created, what the price do next? It came back down to create what? A higher low. Alright, why is this a higher low? Because this higher low led to the formation of a what? Of a new higher high. So now this becomes what? A new higher low. Alright, so after this higher high was created, what the price do next? It came back down to create a new higher low. Now after this higher low was created, what the price do next? It went back up to create a new higher high, came back again to create a new lower high, came back again to create a new lower low. Why are we considering this a lower low? Because price broke below its previous or higher low. So now this becomes a lower low. Do you understand? Good. So after price created this lower low, what did it do next? It continued up to create a new higher high. Why is this a higher high? Because this high broke above its previous lower high. So now we are no more bearish, we are still bullish. You get me? Good. So after we've identified our market structures, we realize that price was giving us a series of higher highs and higher lows. So on the 4H time frame, what we realize is price was trading between this lower high and this higher high. You get me? Price was trading between this lower high and this higher high. So from the market structures we've identified, we realize that we are still bullish. So after we've identified our market structures on the 4H time frame, what's the next thing I did? The next thing I did was to go down to a lower time frame, which is my H1 time frame, to look for what? To look for my entries. So now let's go down to our H1 time frame to look for our entries. Alright, so now coming down to our H1 time frame, let me zoom out. So now coming down to our H1 time frame, what was the first thing I did? So the first thing I did was to identify my H1 time frame market structures, like the same thing we did on the H4, right? When we come down to our H1 time frame, the first thing we do is to identify our market structures on the H1 time frame. So now let's identify the market structures on the H1 time frame. So what do we have here? We have a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, right? So at this point, we realized that on the H1 time frame, this was the last higher low and last higher high price was trading within. You get me? I repeat, from identifying our H1 time frame market structures, we realized that price was trading between this last higher low and this last higher high. Alright, so after we've identified our H1 market structures, what's the next thing we do? the next thing we do is to identify our key levels. When we have bullish market structures, the key levels you want to look out for is resistance to become support. Those are the key levels you want to look out for. And when you have bearish market structures, the key levels you want to be looking out for is support to become resistance. Now, since we have bullish market structures, what key levels are we looking out for? We are looking for resistance to become support. So now let's identify our resistance level. Now, if I'm to take my rectangular tool and draw, what do we have here? So we have resistance, 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 resistance. So now after we've identified our key level, which is our resistance level right here, what do we wait for? Wait for a retest. Now, like I said earlier, in a bullish market structure, the key levels you are looking for is resistance to become support. So now we've identified our resistance. What do we need to wait for? We need to wait for that resistance to become support, meaning we need to wait for a break and retest of that resistance to become a support level. Then we look for our confirmation candlesticks, which is going to tell us that okay, price is now ready to head to the upside. You get me? So at this point, all what I did after I've identified my key levels was to wait for price to break above the key level and retest it as a support. Mind you, this key level is a resistance level, right? So when price broke it and retested it as a support level. After price retested our resistance as a support, what was the next thing I was looking out for? The next thing I was looking out for was bullish confirmation candlestick. Now, looking at the candlestick after the retest, what candlestick formation were we looking out for? We're looking for a bullish engulfing confirmation candlestick. Now, do we get a bullish engulfing confirmation candlestick? Yeah, this black candlestick is our bullish engulfing candlestick. Why is this considered a bullish engulfing? Because this candlestick closed above this bearish candle. So it engulfed it, right? The volume of this black candle engulfed the volume of the red candlestick. So that gives us a bullish engulfing candlestick. Now, after the closure of this black candlestick, that's when I entered. That's when I'm waiting for buys, right? Placed my stop loss below this previous structure and might take profit to this level. Again, now look at what price did after we entered the trade. We went into profit, fundamentals came out, almost stopped us out. I think it was left with about a pip for price to take us out. Reversed back into our position and kept heading up. When CPI came out, it just went to our full TP, our full take profit. Now look at why I placed my stop loss. Some people would have placed their stop loss right here. So imagine you placing your stop loss right here. Price would have taken you out after the fundamentals came out and would have headed back into the direction you were anticipating. But then stop loss needs to be where it needs to be, right? So I placed my stop loss right below this structure level, this support level. Do you hear me? That's why I placed my stop loss. And even without, look at what price did. Price almost came to stop me out, but I didn't get there. Reversed back into our direction and just went up to full TP. My risk to reward was 1:3.38, risking 26 pips to make 90 pips. Right? As simple as that. That's how I went about this trade. So in case you didn't understand anything I did, make sure you go about to rewatch the video over and over again so I understand anything I did. And like I said earlier on, if you're interested in catching moves like this, just DM me on Instagram to get yourself enrolled in my one-on-one mentorship. And like I also said earlier on, we almost have 1K subscribers. And I also have a surprise for you when we hit 1K subscribers. So if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, alright? Make sure you like this video. Make sure you drop a comment down below. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Channel FX. Peace. I'm out.